Now, do I really care about looks? Well, somewhat, naturally. You don't want it to, you know, look like a, you don't want it to look like a piece of crap, totally. But this doesn't look bad. Now, I could have bought one that cost like 250 bucks or so, because they're somewhere in that neighborhood, give or take 20 bucks. And the one I was looking at had the black leather, and then it had a little fancy stitching over here with a piece of gray, kind of just to give it a look, you know, that type of thing. And some of the reinforcement areas were different color leather and things, so, you know, it looked nice, alright? However, most of the time this is going to be concealed. And even if it's not concealed, as you see, when I had it on my persons, it didn't look all that bad. Alright? Now, like I said earlier, this, if I move it there, will give me a little bit more cant, which is what I'm looking for. So I'm going to move that up there now. And then I'm going to have these two belt loops that are going to be actually not being used for anything. So if the holster continues to work well over the next week of me wearing it, I can just cut those right off, making the holster a little bit narrower. And if it doesn't bother me at all, just leave them on, because then I can just take off the 3 screws and I can still use the holster as a belt holster, you know, outside the waistband. And these little holes that I put in, they're all dyed black, so does it really bother me? Not necessarily, because again, it's going to be concealed. Now the chest rig may not always be concealed, but again, it doesn't look that bad. But when it's on my hip, you know, it's going to be concealed. Connecticut has a carry permit. It doesn't say it's concealed or not. You can carry concealed or open in Connecticut. However, they got everybody so gun shy in Connecticut that if somebody sees somebody walking with a gun on, everybody panics. And if you cause a disturbance, you can lose your firearm or pay a fine. And they have no reason to say, give me your money, or no problem rather, saying, give me your money, and less of a problem saying, give me your permit. All right? You know, so I mean, this is the way Connecticut is. So, like I say, most of the time, it's best concealed. And to be honest with you, I prefer to have it concealed. I am not an open carry person. I really ain't. I like concealment. That's all there is to it. You know, I'm not looking to prove anything, and the less people know I have it on, the less problems I'm going to have. So I just like it concealed, and that's all there is to it. So in that case, like I say, most of this is going to be concealed. When this is on my chest, I always wear some type of a shirt, an overshirt. Even if I have a t-shirt on or something. Around the house, that's a different story. Around the yard, that's a different story. I don't care if it's open or not. But if I'm gonna, once I leave, you know, and I get in my truck, I'll throw on a, you know, a silk shirt or a light, very, very light summer shirt, and just have it unbuttoned and open. You know, wear it as a little jacket type thing. You know, so I'm not sweating, I'm not killing myself. You know, not out of place, and yet the gun is concealed. You know, there's always a way to conceal a gun. You know. So don't buy a gun just because it's easy and it'll fit in your pocket, because you're not going to want to use that gun. You're not going to want to train with that gun. You may not even be able to handle that gun. So you're better to buy a gun that fits you, that you're going to be able to fire without it biting you. Try them before you buy them. A lot of gun shops, they let you rent the gun for an hour, 20 minutes, whatever. So you try a few. Doesn't have to be the exact gun, but try a few in different sizes to see what they're talking about. You know, you can always figure out a way of concealing the firearm. All right, but if you buy something that's going to bite you, you can't figure out a way to stop it from biting. So you're buying it to conceal, well, not so much to conceal, but you're buying it to use to protect yourself. If you can't use it, then what's the good of concealing it? You follow? So think about that. There's a lot to think about. There's a lot of videos out there with a lot of different opinions. Try them. Fire it before you buy it. Don't just buy something because somebody says, "Oh, I like it." Try a few different sizes and a few different calibers. Whichever one you feel most comfortable with, that's the one you buy. Then you can figure out a way of concealing it. Plain and simple. Other than that, holster's done. So anyway, the holster's done. I just added a few more snaps to it. I just added these two. Alright. So that I can get a little bit more adjustment on it if need be. So we're all set there. And so the holster's done. Finished. I don't think I'll have to do much adjustments, if any, just because the leather may stretch a little bit. But other than that, I don't foresee any major work being done here. So, like I say, as leather stretches like a belt, you know, you may have to adjust it a little bit here or there. But other than that, it's for all intent and purposes, I can start wearing this holster. I can. Yes, I can. So basically, that's where we're at. The only thing is I got to do here is, what did I do? What did I do? This goes this way. So that means this one goes over here. And this one goes over here. Okay, so that's done. Alright. And this goes there. Yeah. Okay. Ta-da! The holster is finished.